The spirit of love that I am goes before me. To bless my world, and the road drives to meet me as I stand in this holy place. The abundance of life turns to greet me. I feel love's grace. The spirit of love goes before me and makes my way clear. The spirit of love goes before me to make my way clear. The spirit of love that I am goes before me to light my world, and the road rises to meet me in the motion of every breath. The assurance of life rises through me. I find my rest. The spirit of love goes It's gonna be a
bright, bright, sunshiny day.
I can feel it now, the
Pain is gone.
gone all
The
the
bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been waiting for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now,
The rain is gone.
I can see all
Obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Asheville.
Good morning.
Strong. Oh, I'm feeling something good today.
Funny thing about
2,
that.
3, 4. Here we go. Something good is happening today. Something good is happening today. I'm open to my brand new possibilities. As I declare that life is good, good returns to me. Something good is happening today. Something good is happening today. I live in mindfulness and use my inner eyes to see love, life in everyone and let my spirit fly. Something good is happening today. Something good is happening today. I'll do the best I can and love that I'm unique and see the God in everyone as I know God in me. Something good is happening today. Something good is happening today.
Something good is happening. Something good is happening. Something good is happening. Something good is happening.
Good
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 Something good is
Good, good day.
Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday celebration. My name is Celeste Loren. I'm a licensed practitioner here, and welcome to all of you in the room, and welcome to those of you online who are joining us. We are Center for Spiritual Living, Asheville Strong. Thank you. Please take this time to take out your cell phones, silence it, make sure it's quiet, but you're welcome to share anything, take videos and pictures, and share in your favorite social media posts. We have some announcements and invitations for you today. Our spiritual economics class with the Reverend Dr. Kate Greysen is still going on. There's still time to join. Tomorrow is the last night that you can join. It's Mondays from 6 to 8:30. Please talk to Kate if you are interested. There is then always something wonderful happening on Friday nights here at 7 p.m. Every Friday night there will be something special. This next Friday night, January 10th, is Creating Your Life Story for 2025. So if you'd like to sit down and really contemplate how you'd like this year to play out, please come and join on Friday night. Then on the 17th, with Reverend Dr. Susie, we'll explore how faith communities are being called to emerge into some new roles as we are challenged in our divided America. It's finding ways for those of us in faith communities to come together and know that we truly are really all one. And it doesn't matter how we live, but we can still come together in harmony and love. Reverend Michelle has a Lunch and Learn series. Reverend Michelle, would you please stand up in the back room there? Thank you. She's kicking off her Lunch and Learn on this Tuesday. Bring your lunch, join her, and you can fall in love with yourself. It's about embracing your gifts and your talents and learning to love life unconditionally. Isn't that what we all want? All right. Please see Michelle if you have questions and you'd like more information about her time together. April's going to be sharing about her class.
My workshop.
Workshop.
So it's Wednesday night special, which is a new thing that we're going to start here. Look forward to future practitioner offerings on Wednesday nights. I'm doing the kickoff. Love is ubiquitous. It's everywhere all the time. It is synonymous to God and to Spirit. It is who we are. And yet, I don't know about y'all, but I tend to get a little oblivious to the love that is existing in my world. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how we can practice choosing love regularly and often. So Wednesday night, this Wednesday, at the 8th at 6:30 in the Waterhouse Social Hall. Hope you'll join me.
All right. Thank you, April. Next Sunday is our 30th anniversary celebration, the 30th anniversary of our center. Yay. Please join us for a special celebration at 11 o'clock next Sunday. I'm sure it will be wonderful to take us down some memories and to share. I believe John Waterhouse going to be here? Reverend John Waterhouse will be here. And those of you who would like to visit with him and share this connection, please come and join. We will also be having a catered commitment lunch afterwards, and that will also be very special. Then the following Saturday, January 18th, we will celebrate the beautiful life lived of Diane West, one of our members who is no longer with us. She will remain with our hearts. Our annual membership meeting is scheduled for January 26th, which is immediately following our celebration. All of you who are members, please come and join. We have voting to do. And those of you who are not members, you're welcome to join as well to participate in how we run the center and the information that's important for all of us to know. Our board member of the day is Amika Venturi. She will be available in the social hall following the celebration for questions. Our practitioner of the day is John Alvaro, who will be sharing our spiritual mind treatment. And do we have, and Amika is also holding high watch. Thank you. We'd like to thank all the hearts and hands that participate in making this place the beautiful place it is for all of us to share. You are welcome to check out more of information online. And please join me now to go within. The candle is already lit. The chakra bowls will align us, and the tinctures will call us to attention.
There is only one life, one love, one power, one source, one joy, one everything. And this one power has many names. Call it what you will, but it has many names, and I call it God. And what I know is that right here, right now, God is all there is. God is transformative. God is a mystery. God is talent. God is patient. God is brilliant, beautiful, wealthy, joy. God is everything, and everything God is, I am. Everything God is, we are. We are that health, that vibrant health that knows how to heal, believe, our temple, our body temple, is spirit on its own, knows exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and where to do it. We are abundant in all aspects of money, wealth, food, clothing, relationships. We are abundant being here on planet Earth. And with all that, we are resilient in relationships, not just with ourselves and with our families, but with people on the street we don't even know. A kind smile, a pleasant hello, a nice gesture. That's relationship. It starts somewhere. And knowing all of this, and from the words of Eddie Watkins, I am, we are the place where God lives. Moving, breathing has its meaning. We are the place where God shows up. Because this is who we are. And as this new year starts to unfold, transformation is inevitable. Growth is inevitable. But we are open for the task and to grow and to be more and to do more, to love more. We are showing up as God is. And I am so grateful knowing this truth of who we are, knowing that this is going to be the best year ever for each and every one of us. And it doesn't matter how it shows up, it's going to show up. And we will receive the blessings with gratitude and love and appreciation. For at this moment, we give thanks. Because the future is so bright, we gotta wear shades. So with this gratitude, I release this into the allness of the universe, into the Lord, knowing what I say is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And it will manifest. Welcome to the new year, 2025. And together we say, and so it is.
So y'all are wondering why I'm up here, right? I get the great honor of introducing my friend and mentor, Kate Greysen, Reverend Dr. Kate Greysen. She does so many amazing things, and the person that she is, a Reverend of Science of Mind and a Doctor of Communication, something like that. She's looking at me because I didn't bring my notes with me. She gave me a bio, I just forgot to bring it. Anyway, without further ado, Reverend Dr. Kate Greysen.
So it seems a weird topic to start a new year out with, the Twilight Zone of faith, but I do think it's actually appropriate for the culture that we live in today. And that's more for me than you. So some of you may know the old groundbreaking TV show from the 1960s by Rod Serling called The Twilight Zone. The early episodes started with these words: "There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of men's fears and the summit of his knowledge. It is the area that we call the Twilight Zone." So the Twilight Zone was on TV between 1959 and 1963, and the reruns are still frequent today. The show presented weird tales. How many of you remember the Twilight Zone? Yeah, okay. So the show presented weird tales of the supernatural, which were often tinged with social commentary. People jumped back and forth between past, the present, and the future. The show is interesting because it presented situations where people are somehow shaken from their everyday existence, and their concept of reality is tested. The episodes often refer to that ambiguous state between two states or conditions where characteristics of both states exist, like the twilight zone between night and day. The term itself, however, infers paradoxical situations, which are very dualistic worldviews. We have good, bad, saved, lost, us versus them. And the show often dealt with that concept of humanity, which was frequently left to the side in the struggle for survival. We all know that we live in a world where oxymoronic statements are the norm. And by definition, an oxymoron is a combination of contradictory or incongruent words, such as cruel kindness, jumbo shrimp, or to echo George Orwell from 1984, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. The problem with oxymorons is not that sometimes poetic imagery that they bring to mind, but it's in the definitions and how we interpret or perceive what is being said. So here's the truth about things, is that I always think, I speak about once a month at different New Thought centers around Western North Carolina and Georgia, and I always think that my topics are going to be so unique and that I'm so clever. However, when I jump into the research, I would say 100% of the time that it's not unique at all. And in fact, the concept of using the Twilight Zone as living in a world of faith has also been used multiple times and co-opted by the religious institutions, the alt-right, the nationalist parties, as well as Unity, Universal Unitarian Universalists. I was just there last week, I should know that. And the Science of Mind and the Centers for Spiritual Living. So no, there's nothing wrong with that, with everyone using the same term. Unfortunately, this is where the problem lies, because we're saying exactly the same things, but there's a little bit of a difference in our interpretations and in our actions. In communication studies, which I do teach, but it's not what my PhD is in, is we call this bypassing, where we're using the same phrases, but we have different meanings and interpretations. And bypassing is one of the key issues to our misunderstandings when we're in communication with others, because we think we're saying the same thing, but we're not. Our intent or our perceptions are different about what that thing actually means. So the many conversations I've had over the past few months have converged into a few themes. But however, the following 6 statements, I took 6 statements, are from podcasts or blogs from New Thought, UU, Unity, Centers for Spiritual Living, and white nationalist parties, the alt-right Christian blogs, and Methodist and Baptist sermons. I've also changed some of the nouns and identifiers, but let's see if you know who is who and who is saying what. The first one, we are in a twilight zone. The skies are growing dark, night is coming, but it ain't over yet. The second one, how do we respond to such a culture? One way is we can try to convert the culture to our beliefs and faith through prayer. 3, our new identity in spirit changes our perspective. It gives us courage. Courage overcomes intimidation. Courage overcomes anger and weeps for lost souls. Courage overcomes paralysis and marches forward with intention. Any guesses yet? 4, we can become so separate from our culture that we fail to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world as we condemn others. Well, we must be separate. We must consider that we are in the world, but not of it. And 5, we try to conserve the larger culture in a way that we are comfortable and familiar with. The problem is when the church or center tries to become like the world to attract the world to it. We start to want the implications of the truth more than we want the actual truth. And 6, it's a great time to be on the spiritual path because the truth will shine like a light in a dark place. When we have God, we have courage. God gives us courage. God gives us courage to live out our new identity as the people of God, living out the mission of God, marked by the joy of God. Can you, out of all of those organizations and institutions I mentioned earlier, can you have any idea which one is from which? We're all saying the same thing. But every one of us, of whatever faith, has said these things. And in practice, we know the intent of these statements have vastly different interpretations in action. And then we shake our heads and we wonder, how can they say that but do this? I remember at different times during my own life, I would be in some mundane situation and I would have this overwhelming feeling that I did not belong. In fact, that the world in front of me felt so foreign that during those times I was in my own twilight zone. And I believe that many of us have felt that way. And I feel like that now with so many inconsistencies and incongruencies floating around. And of the many issues, there are two that strike close to home for me. One is focused on women's health and the reproductive rights, and the other is on the banning of books. As a woman and an academic, I am offended that a woman's right to appropriate health care is in serious danger, and that choices to read and learn about what interests someone are being curtailed. And I often feel out of place and foreign in this culture that I call my home. But like I said earlier, our world is an ambiguous area between two states or conditions where characteristics of both states exist because we are human, but we are spiritual in essence. Everything, every person is a spiritual spark, small spiritual spark surrounded by atoms in space, and we are not separate from it, and we are not separate from each other. But yet it feels foreign to us and not a part of who we are. Therefore, it's no wonder at times we may feel like we do not belong in this world with all these conflicting messages. And in those moments, the world is not my home. Again, the world kind of feels like the Twilight Zone as I try to navigate through my life. Reverend Nadia Bolz-Weber is an ordained Lutheran minister, and she wrote this in a blog called Corners. It's a bit long, but it's very insightful, and I have paraphrased it a bit. She says, "All I know for sure is that this world will break your heart. There's enough sorrow to go around and for everyone to have seconds. But I've yet to find healing in self-pity, isolation, pretending I am not hurting, or when I am in comparison with others. However," she says, "I have found healing in eye contact with another person who is in a tender place. I have found healing in those rare moments when I stop filling in the blank about another person. And I have found healing when I have compassion toward myself and others." And she continues saying, "Perspective is a robust tool, and at the same time, because things could be worse, doesn't mean that they're also not kind of lousy right now." I love Nadia Bolz-Weber. And if you too have times of belief and disbelief, just know, take a deep breath. We all come by it honestly. I know for myself, when I feel the most lost is when those small G gods of this world try to convince me that the worst things for me are actually the best things for me. We are surrounded on all sides by lies, and most of them are pretty appealing, and I fall for several of them more than I would like to admit. But no matter how convincing it sounds in my ears, what the small G gods offer is never good news. It's just dog whistles for my ego and empty calories for my insecurities. So here we are in times of war, rumors of war, a time of great dread and uncertainty as we're looking out into the new year, a time of fake news, ideologies, and commercials about the right drugs for erections, weight loss, and anti-aging creams. We are surrounded on all sides by the lies of this world, and I need you. I need each one of you to help remind me that the light of God still scatters the darkness. Serling wrote about the fate of humanity in 1960 in a book of short stories called From the Twilight Zone. There is one titled The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Maple Street could be Main Street, it could be Patton, it could be Asheville, it could be Knoxville. In a small, closely knit community, the power went out. Everything from cars to blenders, TVs and lawnmowers, everything quit working. Now remember, this was written in 1960, so they didn't have our cell phones, they didn't have our computers and our fancy smart TVs. And so just think back to what it was like 3 months ago when we had nothing. But much like our hurricane and much like Asheville, the fictional community came together and they talked and they supported and they helped each other. But in this community on Maple Street, as darkness fell, people started becoming impatient day after day. There was darkness, nothing worked. And they started to blame and accuse other members of the community of minor things that grew bigger and bigger as their fears became more and more encompassing, from young to old, and especially to those who were new to the community or somehow different. They turned on each other out of fear. And in a short amount of time, everyone in the community was either dead or run out of town into the darkness. And these are the final paragraphs of that story by Rod Serling. "Do you understand the procedure now?" the first figure said. "Just stop a few of their machines and radios and take away their lawnmowers and throw them into darkness and then watch the pattern unfold." "The pattern is always the same," the second figure asked. "With few variations," came the answer. "They pick the most dangerous enemy they can find, and it is themselves. All we need to do is sit back and watch." Then figure 2 said, "This place, this Maple Street, is not unique. By no means," figure 1 said. "Their world is full of Maple Streets, and we'll go from one to the other and let them destroy themselves." We didn't do that in Asheville. I think we've already changed the tide of the 1960s, premonition of doom. And I think that's a good thing when we think about it. But in one of his final interviews before he died, Rod Serling was asked when was the last time he cried. And he said he couldn't remember. But he admitted that the urge is there. And he concluded, "Before I die, just for the hell of it, one night, I'm going to spend an entire night weeping. I'll draw up a list of things chronologically that will motivate it. I am crying now. I'm weeping for all the crap that's out there that I should have wept at and didn't." So where does this talk take us? And where will it end? Thank you. Our personal Twilight Zone gives us a glimpse into those things we need to weep about: fear, pride, prejudice, and injustice. A whole lot of well-meaning and enthusiastic spiritual or religious people often offer prayer and platitudes for healing and for all the answers to life's issues. But from a wheelchair, Joni Eareckson Tada says to those who want to pray for her healing, "I would love some prayer, but could you instead please pray for healing from the times when I cherish my own importance, from the times when I fudge the truth. Please pray for the times when I manipulate others to get my own way." Because let's be honest, this is where we all need help. It's usually not it's usually easier to not open that door. And we are all incongruent, and we all have our inconsistencies, political inconsistencies, spiritual inconsistencies, and social norm inconsistencies. And I think it's the recognition of those inconsistencies, the recognition of our judgments, and our acceptance of difference and our acceptance of others' opinions that tell us who we really are. And my message today, and my invitation for you in this new year, is to think, is to explore, ask questions, listen to each other. Don't allow yourself to be stymied by fear of others, by fear of having less. The world is abundant and fascinating, and the people of this world are brilliant. We are kind and thoughtful and inspiring. Always remember that unity does not imply uniformity. Allow for difference in your life. Listen and ask questions. Learn to love those differences, because I believe that it's only then that we can become whole. Laura Jean Truman wrote this, and some of you may have seen it. It's been floating around on Facebook. Keep my anger from becoming meanness. Keep my sorrow from collapsing into self-pity. Keep my heart soft enough to keep breaking. Keep my anger turned towards justice, not cruelty. Remind me that all of this, every bit of this, is for love, and keep me fiercely kind. This new year, my commitment to myself is not some annual resolution. It is to remember who I am, to never forget that if I walk on sacred ground, so does everyone else. If I breathe sacred air, so do the people I disagree with. It is to remember that the Spirit of the divine resides within us all. We are the peace of God. We are the power of God. We are the wisdom of God. We are the light of God. We are the joy of God. We are the love of God. And every one of us are the life of God. Live this life well. I love my peanut gallery right there. Live this life well. And as we continue into the new year, tell the truth of who we are. Tell the truth of who you are. Be present for others. Listen closely, and when you do not understand, ask a question instead of assert or argue. Instead of participating in the Twilight Zone, let us be the ones who manifest our world to one that works for everyone. And I will end by repeating Laura Jean Truman. Please, God, keep us fiercely kind. Thank you.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, speak. Truth is where I work. Love's my career. Where I play. God is playing boldly in and out and through me as me. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move, and where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go. Where I play and take and give and live. God is. God is. God is. God is.
A little clunky. Thank you, Rita Faith. Thank you, One Voice. That's beautiful. So, we're doing things a little differently as far as prosperity acceptance is going. We're going to have somebody in the exit going towards the social hall and the exit going over here outside to accept your gifts of donations. Thank you so much for all the ways that you love and support this center. This center is strong and vibrant because of you. So join me, if you will, with saying aloud our prosperity affirmation somewhere now. There we go. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. And I know that all that is given, all that the love and support and nourishment that is given freely and joyfully, and supports each of us and this place that we call our spiritual home. This center prospers and thrives in every single way. As we grow and stand firmly in our principles and our faith in this new year, this center is strong and vibrant. And I am so grateful, and I simply let this go and let it be so because it already is. And so it is. So I have these are gifts that came in the mail and gifts from A Course in Miracles that happened on Friday. So I'd like to acknowledge anybody here for the very first time. If you would, raise your hand. Yay! Thank you so much for being here. Anne has got a card for you to fill out, and we don't inundate you with information. We just ask that you share so we can share all the glorious things that is happening here at the center. Anybody else here for the very first time? I know you're not. So we have a tradition here. We bless kids. Every single week, we bless kids regardless of whether they're in the room or not. I am looking over here at a child I see. Would he like to come up and be blessed? Okay. So let's read this note from Elliot. Dear God, I think about you sometimes even when I'm not praying. And as we know that there's a child within each of us and children around the world, we bless all of them. So we love you, we bless you, and we know you are perfect. These are our kids. So I'd like to invite our practitioners to come forward. These are amazing individuals that have done years of work on themselves to be able to know the truth of you. If you have problems or issues or doubts or fears in your life, please find some time to be with one of these amazing individuals. Come on. So I did. There was an announcement that I forgot. As I'm the one that creates the PowerPoint, I forgot the PowerPoint. I'm sorry, Kristen. Kristen Hilligus is doing an amazing New Year's sound bath today at 1:15 up in the Kids Club area. Please go. It's a delightful, relaxing, and joyous experience. And join me in saying our January affirmation. To get everything in my life is for the raw material of my spiritual awakening and transformation. There is always snacks and beautiful conversation in the social hall. Please join us. And I know that we take this glorious, faith-filled conversation, this message of love and light, into the world in all that we do, say, and think. We are sustained by this fantabulous center, and we nourish it and love it. I am so grateful, and simply let it go. And so it is.